Becky. I graduated in the class of 2018 from Westboro High School. I'm currently a junior at Wentworth Institute of Technology. I'm studying interior design and project management. So the story that I want to share with you guys today, I'm just wanted to share the realness of what mental illness can look like and what it can do. I think that's a really big part of de-stigmatizing and just making this language more normalized, because it is something that a lot of people deal with. So again, I want to thank you all personally for hearing our stories today. It means a lot to me. It's my goal that I will play a part in helping someone somewhere, somehow, no matter how small that impact may be. I've learned that sometimes I can hear something countless times and not comprehend it. And then someone says it to me in a different way, and suddenly it registers with me. I hope I can be that someone for at least one person today. And if that doesn't happen to you tonight, that's okay too. You just have to keep having the conversation until you understand whatever you're battling or how to battle it effectively. So the most impactful example of this realization happening to me occurred about a year ago. I was a patient in a mental institute treating anxiety, depression, severe suicidal thoughts, self-harm, and substance abuse. This program helped me find the right combination of medications, a great therapist, and gave me the strength to feel okay on my own in the real world. I learned a lot from the time I spent in this program, including tips to help stop a panic attack, how to speak openly about how I'm doing, and how to advocate for myself, among other things. But the biggest lesson I learned was from a single conversation that I had. Twice a day, I had to check in with one of the staff so they could assure that I was safe. We could also talk freely about anything we wanted to, since it was one of the only times throughout the day that we had some sort of privacy. This day, I was talking with a nice young man named Ben. I'll never forget his name. Ben is one of those people that are wicked easy to talk to, so easy that you sometimes share things that surprise even yourself. This day in particular, I shared with him that I was constantly struggling with feeling weak. This is one of my struggles that I still battle with to this day, but less so than I did then. I let myself get to the darkest point in my life, one that I didn't think I was going to return from. I was suicidal, severely underweight, abusing substances, skipping almost every meal, self-harming, and just completely hating myself. I got so low that I felt close to death, either by actively ending my life or just letting myself wither away. I found myself in this situation because I was too embarrassed to ask for help. I didn't want the people in my life thinking I was weak or lesser than them because I needed help. I hated taking medication because I knew there were plenty of other people in the world who were okay enough to not have to take it. I was constantly hating that I felt weaker than other people because I wasn't okay. I had a friend who at the time was suffering from depression, and she sought no medical treatment for it. I told Ben that I was weak because I needed medication, a therapist, and a hospital to be okay, and she was fine without all of that. Ben's response to me was something along the lines of, I understand how you're feeling, and I'm sorry for that, but let me explain to you why I don't think you're weak. Let's take diabetes, for example. People who have diabetes need medication and treatment for their illness. If they don't take their medication, they could become very ill or even die. That's just a fact. So, and on top of that, we as a society don't believe that them taking their medication makes them weak at all. In fact, if they didn't take their medication, we'd think they're pretty stupid. So why would someone decide not to treat their illness? That just doesn't make sense. Ben told me, you have an illness. Taking medication and seeking help doesn't make you weak. If anything, it makes you that much stronger, because it takes bravery to admit you need help, especially if you're afraid of appearing weak. And this was my moment of realization. I'd heard the narrative of asking for help isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength, countless times before, but for whatever reason, Ben just said it right that day. Now, when I was asked to prepare a story for this presentation, I was asked to share stories of hope, and I told them I wasn't going to do that, and here's why. I thought back to when I was 16 years old, as I'm sure some of you are, and I thought about what I'd want to hear then. Stories of hope is probably the last thing on my list. In my experience, it doesn't do much good telling someone who's struggling with mental illness to be hopeful, as hopelessness can be a severe symptom of said illnesses, as is the case for me. Instead, I'm going to share a message of perseverance. In doing so, it's my desire that I will be able to empower whoever is listening in their own battle with mental illness. So this is an analogy that I use to help explain my illnesses to people who don't know what it's like to suffer from mental illness. I suffer from anxiety and depression. Imagine yourself in a boxing ring and someone who looks a lot like yourself, only much stronger and meaner, is staring back at you. They are ruthless and they don't fight by the rules. You get knocked down a lot and it's really, really hard to fight your way back onto your feet. But the second you throw in the towel and give up, the second you decide not to get back up, it all fades away and they've just defeated you. Every day I wake up and I decide to fight. I have to decide that no matter how strong they get or how many times they knock me down, I will always find a way to get back up. I need to never stop fighting. This, coupled with Ben's story, is why I believe I'm strong. I go about my day doing things like showering, eating, class, or driving, things that most people do on a daily basis without even blinking an eye. And here I am, living out the actions of my life. And on the inside, I'm constantly fighting this battle. How amazing is it that I'm able to do all of these things that others can't, all while fighting this terrible battle within myself? I'm sure some days are harder than others. Some days the fight seems completely overwhelming and unattainable. But as long as you wake up and choose to fight, you're strong and you will be okay. Because someday you'll be able to look back and say, wow, this fight used to be a lot harder than it is for me today. Take me, for example. I was at the point of no return, but because I decided to show up and fight every day, I'm the person that I am today. I'm a student, a daughter, a friend, a partner, and so much more. All because I didn't give up and I didn't let my illnesses take that away from me. Thank you again for taking the time to listen to us today. I hope that we're able to make an impact on your lives and empower you to keep fighting. Thank you.